Sarina Wiegman squad for the Euros has been announced. We're going to be bringing you all the England, Wales and Spain games and all the final stage games once we get beyond the group. Tough old group for England, if you're not aware of that. They've got France, they've got the Netherlands and Wales. And there's always a bit of spice to a kind of home international. So
Derby's
not an easy group at all. They start off on the 5th July against the French. And, a result is going to be needed, definitely. Let me just run through the squad again. Hannah Hampton, Kiara Keating, Anna Morehouse are the keepers. Lucy Bronze, Jess Carter, Neve Charles, Alex Greenwood, Myla Tissier, Esme Morgan, Leah Williamson, Lotte Vuben Moy are the defenders. Grace Clinton, Jess Park, Georgia Stanway, Ella Toon, Kira Walsh in midfield. Up front, 19-year-old Michelle Aguiman, been doing fantastic
really
work.
Interesting.
Aggie Beaver-Jones, Lauren Hemp, Lauren James, despite injury, it was worth it. I think our next guest hopefully will agree. Yeah. Chloe Kelly, Beth Mead, Alessia Russo. Jordan Nobbs joins us, former England midfielder. Hi, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
Hello.
Let's get your take overall then on the squad. Yeah. Anybody in there you didn't expect to see, and is there anybody that maybe should have been in there in your eyes?
I think since Mary, Fran and Millie being players that are out, that probably would have changed a lot of decisions on the selection. But I think with a bit of experience leaving, it's obviously given Sarina opportunity to, I guess, keep her squad quite similar. And you've obviously just mentioned Lauren James there. I think she's so key, whether she gets 20 minutes on the pitch, and obviously they'll have to build her fitness up. She's so key and such a game changer to the Lionesses.
I think that's why we can take her, because we're not overly reliant on her, are we? We've got plenty of other players in those positions, but she's so good that she's worth taking.
She pops up with key goals and everything. It was
Michelle Aguiman is really interesting pick, I think. Jordan, she was a Wembley ball girl. She's come through every single age group for England. She's sort of a new breed of footballer who will only know the women's game in the great state that it's currently in.
Yeah, and I think you can tell with Sarina's selection over the last few years, she's obviously wanting to blend that winner mentality and experience with also the youth. Because obviously she had Nikita Paris she could have picked, but she's gone with maybe a bit more youth to then give them the experience. And I think with Mish, obviously played against her at Brighton. She is a very strong, powerful player, and I think it was fate for her that she came on and scored that goal, and what a fantastic goal it was. But that added extra speed, I think, and sometimes I think you forget what the youth bring. It is that raw, willing to win and no fear mentality that is sometimes key to add to your team, and I think she'll definitely bring that.
Someone who just missed out, apart from Nikita Paris, is Missy Bocanza. You've been playing with at Villa. You think she's a bit unlucky? I mean, she was in the squad for the recent games. Maybe she thought I was going to give her a chance.
Yeah, obviously I played with Missy the last few years, and she's a top player, and she'll definitely be part of that Lioness squad in the future. It's maybe just come a little bit too soon for her, but I think for her to be on standby and gain that experience and just be around the squad, she's a key player that I think Sarina can build and progress, and she can learn a lot from the players that she's with. But I think, you look at what Sarina's done in the past, whether that's Lauren Hemp up top or Alessia Russo's played in the 10, Lauren James can play in midfield or out wide. She's already got kind of that mix that she can use, so she maybe didn't need to be as heavy on the midfield with Missy Bohr. But I think Missy has a bright future ahead of her.
I think we understand why Frank Kirby has called it a day. She wasn't going to be in this squad. She was going to pack up at the end of this tournament anyway, so we understand that. We know Millie Bright doesn't feel that she can play and give her best for England. We've lost Mary Ups. There's been a few pieces written by journalists in and around the women's squad, maybe starting to look at some reasons why they've decided they don't want to be part of the squad. And some of it's pointing at Sarina Wiegman. Maybe she's got quite a blunt way about her. One or two people suggesting that this has rubbed some of these senior players up the wrong way. Do you think there's anything in that?
Well, I think what we've always learnt from Sarina is she's very, very honest. She'll definitely let you know whether you're in a squad. Obviously, when I went to Australia with for the World Cup, she let me know kind of I was fifth in line to be centre mid, and at the same time, it's hard, but also I guess you want to know that honest situation so you can go into the team with the mentality that you need to, just be part of the squad and do what you need to do in training, because in a tournament, it's one big football bubble, and you definitely can't underestimate what the bench and the players around you do to keep that strong mentality and that hard to beat mentality as well when you're in training. When the starting 11 are put up, you want to play your best because they're going to face top opposition. France, the Netherlands, Wales if they go really defensive. So yeah, it's tough. I think some of the older players you've seen slowly start to drop out, like Fran Kirby, but she's been so key to that Lioness team. And if I'm being honest, I still thought she'd go because of her scoring record. But I totally understand from Fran's point of view with her injuries and everything like that she's had in the past, that she's called it a day and thought, I was going to give it one last whack for the Euros. But with Sarina being honest, then she's lost Fran as a player in that squad.
Those omissions, though, the fact those three players aren't there, does it make you worry for this tournament? I mean, obviously, we'd be a better squad with them in it.
Still quite a lot of caps there, though. Lucy Bronze, 133. Sure. Leah Williamson, 57,
But we have
Ella Toon, Kira Walsh.
We've got a tough group, Jordan, haven't we? These first two games against the Dutch and France are really key. They're going to have to get good results. I mean, there is a world in which they may not get out the group. I'm not really too pessimistic, but it's a tough group.
Yeah, and I think it's one of them you wish you could tell the future, because if they don't, you'll be thinking, the experience of them players would be key. But if they do, you look on the other side of it and go, it was the right decision to maybe tell them players that they maybe weren't number one or they weren't going to start. And, I guess that's the harsh reality of football. But it's really tough games. And I do still believe that experience is key. But, like you've just been talking about, they've still got Champions League winners, Euro winners that are probably in their main starting 11 that are going to pretty much start in them first two games. So I think she's still got a really good starting 11 with a lot of experience. But yeah, it could go one way or the other, where you think, we've really missed them key players, or it's the right decision from Sarina.
Just finally on your front, you've left Villa. So what next for you? You're going to play on? You've had 16 years in the game. You first got in the Sunderland team when you were 16, so that's a lot of football, but you intend to play on, look for a new club?
Yeah, not ready to retire yet, but yes, I've obviously played a lot of games, over 200 games in the league, so it's been an amazing journey. It's amazing to see the way the women's football's gone, and I'm very proud to have witnessed a lot of that. But yeah, we're still going to be playing football for a few more years, and hopefully can keep pushing as a player and a person, and see what the future holds.
Nice one. Well, look, best of luck, and we'll no doubt chat to you, I'm sure, in and around the tournament. But thanks very much, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you very much.
Here we are, Jordan Nobbs, former England midfielder, and we're going to hear from Sarina Wiegman very shortly. We'll be chatting to the press. I'm sure we'll hear about the players she's selected, maybe one or two of those that aren't available for selection. That's all coming up in a few moments' time.